but it's significantly higher than cocaine, prescription pain relievers, and heroin.
I treat people for cannabis addiction, and it can really, it doesn't really destroy lives, but it can really harm their quality of life. And you do have withdrawal symptoms when you stop cannabis abruptly, when you go from using it heavily to stopping it abruptly. You can have grumpiness, you could have trouble eating, you could have trouble sleeping, you could have nausea.
Myth number 3, cannabis is safe for the brain. Young people, listen up, because this one's for you. And I know there's a lot of peer pressure. A lot of people are smoking weed, but you need to know the facts first. Using cannabis before the age of 18 may impact how the brain develops functions like memory, attention, and learning. And you know.
Now, I can't remember when I started smoking weed, but I think I was 13. Nah, I actually remember a lot. The only things that I have problem remembering is bullshit. So therefore, the fact that it might impact your memory might be good for you, because for all of y'all that have gone through trauma, which everybody has, hell, by the time you 13, you done been through so much shit, you can't even remember to go over to Izzy Pop channel and look at the cat videos. Shouts out to the cat videos over there, because we're gonna go check them out later on. But anyways, peace and shouts out and hair grease to Izzy. Good morning, how you doing? We over here talking about a few things, but yeah, if you can't remember how to do stuff, I mean, part of it might be because it's a trauma that you're trying to block out your memory, like having to wake up and go to school, and then while you're in school, they ain't teaching you nothing about adult life that you actually needed to know, so therefore you're gonna forget half the shit anyways. I mean, it happens.
Oh, you hear people say it all the time. Oh, I'm high, I can't remember things. It's not cute. These things might even be permanent. Of course, this is affected by how often you use THC consumed, but we are definitely wanting you to be mindful of your developing brains. After all, it's your future. A recent study estimated 30% of cases of schizophrenia among men aged 21 to 30 might have been prevented by averting cannabis use disorder. Myth number 4, marijuana can replace your current prescription sleep aid. So this one is a bit of a mixed bag. Recent studies suggest participants were likely to switch from their prescription sleep aid to using cannabis to help sleep disorders. However, at least a quarter of those participants reported negative symptoms similar to that of hangovers. Though after speaking with the doctor and lowering their THC levels, users usually felt better with no lasting issues.
We don't have enough research into how it affects the other sleep phases of sleep, and furthermore, all of the sleeping medications that we take affect all of the stages of sleep, and we don't really understand.
Now, for most people, it's already an easy fact. It's easy as fuck to fall asleep high. I mean, it's easy. You could be like laying in bed half lit and go right to sleep. Now, it puts you in a deeper sleep to where you typically don't dream, which is what most people actually like. Shouts out to the people that, hey, I ain't got time to be having dreams when I'm asleep. I'm out here living the dream, baby, because that's where I'm at in life, living it. But anyways, let's hear what they talk about.
Understand how they affect the different phases of sleep. So cannabis needs to be better studied, though so do all the other sleeping medications, and I genuinely believe it is a safer and less toxic alternative to many of the current pharmaceutical sleeping medications, which doesn't mean that cannabis is perfectly safe. It just means it's a less toxic alternative.
But here's the tricky part. We're not going to let y'all off that easy. You can build up a tolerance to THC and eventually a dependence. So the longer the use, the more we have to be concerned about those eventual other health risks.
Before we recommend any medication to anybody for sleep, we have them cut down the caffeine, we have them exercise.
Myth number 5, marijuana can be taken to cure anxiety and depression. Now, we all know that there is no everlasting absolute cure for anxiety and depression. So, of course, marijuana is not the first one. But last stop. Here we are at the crux of the matter. Why people most commonly seek out the use of medical cannabis to treat symptoms of anxiety, depression, and pain. There are lots of studies on the impact of cannabis on anxiety symptoms, as THC is generally well tolerated at low doses and stimulates the release of dopamine, that natural chemical in your body that makes you feel good. But high doses of THC can actually have the